Stouffer's is back with a vengeance. Can this novice outdo their frozen meals a second time? This is Thawed Out. We're having a classic household meal that moms can't get enough of. That's right, it's Meatloaf Time. I have zero faith in this. I am actually kind of scared. Ew, what is this? Is this poopy? This doesn't even look like food. The mashed potatoes look all right for microwave mashed potatoes, I guess, but it gets all hard on the side. Man, this sauce also kind of looks like poopy. I really don't want to try this, but I have to.
That is one big pile of shit.
What? That should be enough of an assessment for you. Mashed potatoes. Tastes like carpet. Doesn't have any salt at all. What were you expecting? This might actually be even worse than the Mexican fiesta meal that we just did. Well, let's go ahead and thaw this turd out. The meatloaf really just boils down to throw shit in a bowl, mix it all up, make loaf. Combine all of the following ingredients into a large bowl. Try to keep up now. 2 pounds of ground beef, 1 finely diced onion, 3 cloves of garlic, 3 tablespoons of ketchup, 3 tablespoons of parsley, 3/4 cup of panko breadcrumbs, 1/3 of a cup of milk, 2 eggs, and 1 teaspoon of salt, pepper, and paprika. And then mix it all up however you see fit. Hand blender, spatula, bare hands, your feet, your elbows. What did you think I was gonna say? Once that's all mixed up, grab a loaf pan and dump all of your meat into the... Pack as much of that meat as you can into that loaf pan, and with the amount that we made, it should fit perfectly. Next, take a baking sheet lined with sprayed tinfoil, or in my case, a silicone mat, and flip the loaf pan upside down onto the mat. Now delicately lift up the pan to reveal this massive brick of meat. Wow, that is a huge chunk of meat, my God. Holy cow. Now just throw that in a preheated oven set to 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 40 minutes. Our meatloaf sauce also has quite a bit going on. Here we go again! In a medium bowl, mix together 3/4 of a cup of ketchup, 2 teaspoons of white vinegar, 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, a teaspoon or 2 of Worcestershire sauce, nailed it, and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, and salt. Whisk that all together and now you have a nice sweet ketchup-based meatloaf sauce, unlike that nasty barbecue sauce that comes with the Stouffer's. Now if you want to use instant mashed potatoes, you can. Anything would be better than this. However, I would highly recommend that you use actual potatoes for this. For the mashed potatoes, I'm making a smaller batch for the sake of this video, but feel free to double the recipe if this is for the family. First, peel about 2.5 pounds of russet potatoes and cut them into chunks that are about 1 inch or so thick. I'll spare you the footage of watching me do every single potato, so bibbidi bobbidi boo. Now bring a pot of salted water to a boil and give your potatoes a little jacuzzi time for about 15 or so minutes. Ah, so relaxing. Oh look, the 40 minutes are up on our loaf. Now just lather that whole loaf in that sweet sauce. Don't be shy, let it get lost in the sauce. And to get even better coverage of our sauce, we're going to take this brush thing that I forgot the name of and paint happy little brush strokes all over your big brick of meat. Remember, there's no such thing as putting too much sauce on this. It's just a happy little accident. Now put your loaf back into the oven for another 15 to 20 minutes or until the meat reaches about 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Now gaze upon the glory of this solid brick of cow that you just baked. And I know my potatoes are done because I can take a fork and do this with it. Looks like you got a little too relaxed in that jacuzzi. Now go ahead and drain the pot, but then put them back on the burner on low heat so that any remaining water can dry off. And now for the fun part. Destruction. Using a potato masher, pound those potatoes into a mush until they're the desired consistency that you want. You know what? I have a weird fascination with violence on this show, and I should really get that checked out. And lastly, you're going to pour in a concoction that consists of half a cup of milk, 3 tablespoons of butter, and a couple teaspoons of salt. Give it one more good mix, season to taste with salt and pepper, and that right there, my friends, is your mashed potatoes. While plating the dish, the meat slices didn't come out completely even, so I'm sorry if it's more of a meatloaf pile than a real loaf, but what are you gonna do? Eat this instead? Finally, after plopping down your mashed potatoes, you can sprinkle it with more parsley flakes if you want it to look even more pretty. Moms across the country would be so proud. You know what? I refuse to retry this because it's just that bad. So I'm just gonna have mine and pretend like I remember what that tastes like. It's that ketchup sauce, man. Is it a big old pile of meat? You betcha. If you really like that, that's what this is. But sweet, salty, and really good. Now the mash. I mean, it's good old-fashioned mashed potatoes. You can't go wrong with it. And that's really all you need to make an improvement over that is make the good old-fashioned version of what it's supposed to be. Nothing of what I did here is particularly special or unique. You can find very, very, very similar recipes to all of this. Every single one will turn out better than that. And because this recipe makes so much meatloaf, this is the price per serving that you'd be paying, and that is the price of the Stouffer's meal. If you're unironically eating this turd, shame on you. I really don't know what to say to you anymore. Thank you for watching me wipe the floor with Stouffer's once again for a second time. If you were inspired to make your own meatloaf or mashed potatoes from this video, consider subscribing and leaving a like for more thought out recipes.